Okay, next project is the mother-in-law tongue or snake plant. In your quest to grow and expand your indoor garden, you can't forget to give a little TLC to the plants you already have. I'm guilty of that, and today we're going to be taking care of some existing plants and preparing for the big move. So stay with me. So I'm going on a trip, and many of the plants that I have started and potted up, which you've seen in previous episodes of my Create an Indoor Garden series, they are going to be moved to my friend Vanita's garden. So that was the plan all along. Obviously, I can't have all of these plants here. You've seen Rose Alley, and you know it's pretty full. So most of the plants that I started, the okra, the cucumber, squash, they're all going to be given away or moved to other gardens. So I was really excited to do that because I love starting seeds, but I knew I couldn't keep them all. The first thing we need to do is I have to water my holiday cactus. It has been patiently waiting for some attention, and today I have to give it. There's really nothing that a plant loves more than fish fertilizer, which is a water-soluble source of nitrogen. And we're going to give it a little soak. As you know, I have so little space in my apartment for plants. I have put my holiday cactus out in the landing. I'm going to get it. That's one reason that I keep forgetting about it, because it's out there and not in here. Oh, here it is. And this is a very heavy but beautiful ceramic pot. And oh man, even with no water, it's very heavy. Okay, I'm just going to set this in the sink for an indeterminate amount of time. Also, I think I'm going to give it a shower as well as a soak. This I thought would be a perfect size to spray my indoor plants. And this is Vivo Sun. And I just purchased this, and we are going to put a little fish fertilizer with water in here and spray this plant. This particular fish fertilizer is derived from fish protein and seaweed. And I don't get crazy about measurements because plants love this stuff. So okay, now I feel that kind of full. I probably should not have filled that so full because that feels heavy. This is the first time I've used this, but I think it's pretty simple. Basically, you want to create some pressure in there. Okay. Doesn't seem to be a way to lock that. Okay. Ooh, okay. That's going to go everywhere. There we go. Now, because this plant is in a ceramic glazed pot, it can only take in the water through that little hole in the bottom. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, maybe you have to... Now, the beauty of the holiday cactus is it is so forgiving, like most cacti. It's going to be a little bit messy in your kitchen if you've got a small sink like this and a big plant like this. If you have an option to take it outside and spray it, of course that would be much better. At the Late Bloomer Garden, this plant bloomed, I would say, for at least 5 months without stopping. It was incredible. Okay, I think I've made enough mess now. It would be a lot less messy if I had sprayed it without the fish fertilizer, obviously, because that does leave a little bit of brown mess on your sink and your countertop. Okay, it's been sitting in here for a little while, and I'm going to lift it out. Move it over here. I'm going to pour this through the plant. Try to get it in the middle. And I'm going to quickly put it back. Oh, if I can lift it. Oh, that's a heavy pot. It's just such a beautiful pot. I didn't want to get rid of it. Okay, now that's working its way through. So that plant is going to be so much happier after it starts absorbing all of that. Now this Butcher Kitchen's going to smell a little bit like fish fertilizer, but hopefully you can leave the window open and it'll be fine. If you followed me for a while, you know I tend to be a little bit sentimental about my plants. And this particular holiday cactus was given to me as a very small little piece by my neighbor, Zdena. I think she gave me one little piece of red and a bigger piece of pink. And the pink is pretty much all you see now. It kind of took over. It's just such a beautiful plant, and one big mistake you can make with holiday cactus is giving it too much sun. It does not like direct sun at all. At one point I pulled it out in my garden so that the morning sun would directly hit it. It was not happy. Once I got it into a shady spot with nice indirect light, it went to town and just exploded. I mean, this thing was just like this little bitty thing, and now look at it. So when you have a plant that's so giving and asks for so little, unlike my rose, which asks for a lot, you can't get rid of it. You just keep these things that give you this connection with your past. I find it's very important and very fulfilling. Another thing we're going to be doing is, look at this sad little creature. This is garlic chive that Jack Davis brought me from Phoenix last fall. Well, was it September? Maybe she came to Late Bloomer Garden 1.0 and she brought this, and this was somehow a part of it, or I can't even remember. But what I'm going to do is, this ceramic pot dries out way too fast. So I am going to put these together in this pot, which holds water better. It's kind of a, you know, a glazed pot, so that holds the water in better, because I'm going to be gone for a while and I don't want this to have to dry out and wait to be watered. I know this is not a huge pot, but I want it to sit in my kitchen window, and this is the largest pot that will sit in my windowsill. I have a big batch of the amendments that I use mixed up for any potting up, so I don't have to get all of these things out every single time. And for this, well, this is going to be 2 plants, so that should be plenty. You can see in previous videos what I use in my amendments. So all that I have right now in here is azomite, slow release, organic fertilizer, agricultural lime, which is calcium, and bone meal for nitrogen. Okay, for the purposes of this potting up, I am going to go ahead and pre-moisten this. I think I'm just going to put some of this fish fertilizer liquid in here. If you're mixing up wet potting soil like this, it is a good idea to just use rubber gloves and not your work gloves. if you're getting your soil wet. Like I said in a previous video, for indoor gardening, always use an inexpensive plastic tub inside your sink so you don't get any rocks or too much dirt down in your garbage disposal. And if you're reusing soil, like I do, here's a rock itself. And you certainly don't want to get that in your garbage disposal. If you're like me and you're always scrounging around to find some kind of netting to put in the hole of a pot so you don't have this leaking out dirt in your kitchen, I ordered this. You can get this on Amazon. These are just little, perfect little things to cover the hole in pots. Now this is hard as a rock, so I'm probably going to have a little bit of an issue getting it out. Okay, it comes loose pretty easily. And I'm just going to add this soil to that. This, however, look at these roots. Some of them look pretty nasty, actually. They're slimy and gross. Let's see. But you know, maybe I should keep it. I don't know. It might rejuvenate in the soil. Smells good. And this definitely got on the back burner. This garlic chive absolutely got on the back burner here. You know, I have 4 plants. I could plant them individually. Just trying to clean it up a little. What do you think? Think I should put all of that in one? Maybe I should do separate, because I've got 4 plants. You know, maybe I should just do this by itself in here and do these individually. I tell you what, I'll do 2. I'll do 2 in here. Because I think they're going to be so much happier, they're going to put out a lot more shoots. And we don't want to overcrowd the roots. Now I think because I'd like to seal in the moisture, I'm going to put some decorative rock on top of that. I love this little scooper that came with my indoor gardening tools set. Oh, those are pretty. Look at that. They're graphite. They're not black. How does that look? Voila! Now the next time you see this, hopefully it will have put up more shoots. I am going to be potting up this beautiful plant. I bought this from the hardware store, and it's a funny story. It came like this, and I thought it was just potted in this. I didn't realize. And I was so proud of myself, all these things that I had bought at the nursery, and I took a picture of my cart, and then I started driving off to check out, and this plant was on top, and it just fell off, and all the dirt went on the floor. This is a snake plant or mother-in-law tongue. I think it's called Sansevieria. And it's almost indestructible. And because it's almost indestructible, I have just put it on the back burner. But now, today, I am going to properly pot this up because I literally picked it up off the ground. It just had 2 or 3 little roots. They had just brought it to the store. And I just shoved it back in the pot. What I've noticed is this plant was put into a smaller pot inside this bigger pot. And there's some rocks in here, as you can see. What I'm going to wind up with is this pot. They're not going to fit exactly, but I'm going to put 4 of these little round netting, like so. There's some growth in the bottom already. You see these 2 roots are coming out. So it is really interested in growing and getting more space. We're going to almost double the space for the plant and start with a little dirt that holds those netting pieces in place. And then you see this, whoops, you see this big shoot already starting to come out. It's ready to take off. This type of plant is known to take more toxin out of indoor air than any other. Not really knowing what I'm dealing with in a new environment, I'd like to keep my indoor air clean. If only to keep down the gnat problem, which I'm hoping it helps, I'm going to put decorative rock on the top. For this plant, I've decided that since this is dark and this is dark and there are a lot of dark leaves, that the green decorative rock would be very attractive. This acts like a mulch too, so it keeps the moisture in. So you go more time between waterings. I think I've got just enough. Now, isn't that beautiful? This is probably the best houseplant you can own because it's virtually indestructible and it takes toxin out of the air, and it's beautiful. Okay, there you have the next installment of creating an indoor garden, and I hope I have convinced you that even if you think you have a black thumb, there are plants that you can grow successfully, and these 3 are proof that you can do it. Stay tuned for more ideas about creating an indoor garden space in my upcoming videos, and be sure and follow me on social media, like the videos, and by the way, you may have noticed if you've been watching for a while that I've added bloopers back to the end of my videos because I think everybody needs a little chuckle, and I just want to leave you with a smile. If I haven't uplifted you with the music and the ideas and the information, hopefully by the end I will give you a little smile to take along your way to brighten your day. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Why do I have such circles under my eyes? It's incredible. Look like I've been in a fight. I haven't. In my old neighborhood. She lived across the street and lives across the street. I lived there. She lives there. Stay tuned for more, more.